So I didn't hear this when it happened live last night, but thanks to the boys in the back attack, I got to hear it this morning. Charles Barkley joined the ESPN broadcast crew with Dick Vitale, and they were talking about, obviously, basketball, but Charles got into the subject of the NBA and the product. I just hope the fans aren't stupid enough to catch on.
Embarrassed, too.
Embarrassed by the awful product. That is maybe your most prominent analyst on any network that covers the NBA. Not just saying, but repeating over and over again that the product's terrible, and then caps it off with, I hope the fans aren't stupid enough to catch on. I heard Mac and Bone going on about this morning, and they actually were kind of fighting back a little bit, saying, it's actually really not bad. You know, people say the 90s were better, but the 90s weren't better. The basketball was uglier. I actually prefer 90s basketball. I prefer the fact these guys are willing to fist fight one another over a game. I prefer the fact that these guys didn't feel buddy-buddy and like they've been friends on Instagram for 10 years before they ever met on an NBA court. Like, I prefer the feel. Now, if you want to tell me players today are better athletes, they're more skilled, okay, I'll entertain that idea. And that's fine. Like, big men do shoot threes now. You probably weren't going to catch Luke Longley knocking many 25-footers down back in the mid to late 90s. That's fine. I get it. But he's not entirely wrong. Because if everybody could do what Golden State could do, they wouldn't be unique. They wouldn't be special. They wouldn't have won multiple championships. It's kind of like when Mark Jackson said Steph Curry's ruining basketball for kids because kids think they can be Steph Curry. It's not because he thought Steph Curry sucked. It's because, well, Steph's just really special and people can't do what he does. For whatever reason. You know, I still think the talent is there. I think these guys are as great athletes as we've ever seen. And I still love watching the Hornets play, but it's because it's part of the fabric of our city. You know, and it's because it's our hometown team, and that's who we kind of root for here. But if you're asking me objectively to tell you what I think about the rest of the NBA product, I don't think it's that great at times. Like last night, James Harden scored 60 points, scored 36 in the first half. I don't care. Didn't want to watch it. I hate watching James Harden play basketball. I do. I can't stand it. I don't want to watch a dude dribble 6,000 times a game. I don't need to see a guy take 40 shots a game to get 60 points. I know Capella's out. I know Chris Paul's out. I really don't care. It's not fun basketball. And maybe that's me getting old, and I'll cop to that if that's the case, but I don't think it's just that.
You do sound like a grumpy old man.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. No, listen, I don't think what he said is wrong, but I don't think it's entirely right either. I don't have a problem with the big guys shooting threes or this team that's full of three of, like he said, the best three-point shooters in the league. The problem I have is an older problem where when you are some of the best players and you want to go play with the best players and create this superstar team that changes things, because why do you not want to be the best and play against the best and beat the best? Why just join them? And I think that changes the game as well, because it's a different mindset, it's a different mentality, it's a different look when you're going against a team like that has, hey, these already have two superstars, so if you can't beat them, why don't you join them?
Let me tell you something else about this to underscore what Charles Barkley said last night. This is Greg Popovich from November 29th of this season, late in 2018. Quote, the inside game is Kaputski. I don't know what that means. You've got to have downhill players. You've got to have people that can penetrate and kick. You've got to have people who can switch. You've got to have big guys who can play little guys. There's no basketball anymore. There's no beauty in it. It's pretty boring. But it is what it is, and you need to work with it. End quote. That is Greg Popovich, the best coach in the game, saying there's no basketball anymore. There's no beauty in it. It's pretty boring. When the best coach in the game is saying that, I don't know how I'm supposed to argue with it. How do I argue with that?
I mean, it's evolving. I don't think that the game is going to ever be this. I mean, in 10 years from now, it's going to be different than it is now. It's like that with all sports. I mean, I hear you. It's pop. You can't say that pop's wrong, but I think it's going to continue to evolve. I think this is part of it evolving, like it or not. This is now like the type of athletes that we have. Maybe they are more athletic. Maybe the game's changing, but I do think that it's changing basketball, and I think the teams are changing basketball as well.